The signal came at 3:17 a.m. on a cold Tuesday morning. Dr. Nathan Lewis was dozing at his desk when the computers at NASA's SETI division began beeping uncontrollably. He woke up suddenly, dropping his cold coffee as he struggled to check the readings. "This can't be right," he muttered, adjusting his glasses. The pattern was too regular, too structured to be natural cosmic noise. His hands shook as he entered commands into the system, running verification protocols. 3 hours later, as the sun rose over the New Mexico desert, Nathan was still at his computer, but now he wasn't alone. The room buzzed with activity as scientists and government officials crowded around his workstation. "Dr. Lewis, are you absolutely sure?" Commander Olivia Wright asked, her military uniform standing out among the lab coats. Once an Air Force pilot, Olivia now headed the government's extraterrestrial response team, a job that until today was mostly theoretical. "Yes, Commander, this is neither natural nor man-made. We have detected an artificial signal coming from Alpha Centauri," Nathan says, his voice steady despite his exhaustion, "and he's addressing us directly. The signal contained mathematical sequences followed by simple images, the kind you would use to communicate with someone who didn't speak your language." Nathan and his team worked day and night to decode it, sleeping on office couches and surviving on snacks from vending machines. On the 7th day, they made the discovery. "It's an invitation," Nathan explained at the United Nations emergency meeting, projected on screens around the world, or more accurately, an announcement. They call themselves the Galactic Council, a union of 27 space civilizations, and they are coming to Earth. The world reacted with a mix of awe, fear, and skepticism. Religious leaders sought meaning in ancient texts. Military forces went on high alert. Conspiracy theorists claimed vindication. Stock markets plummeted and then soared as space technology companies saw their values multiply overnight. In his small apartment, Nathan tried to process what was happening. His phone was constantly ringing with calls from reporters, government agencies, and former colleagues. He ignored them all, focusing on other translations that emerged. "You need to sleep," Olivia said as she visited his apartment, stepping around stacks of books and prints. "We need you sharp." "How can I sleep?" Nathan asked, rubbing his red eyes. "We're about to meet aliens, Olivia. Real aliens. Everything changes now." Olivia sat across from him. "That's exactly why I'm here." The president formed a first contact committee. We both made the short list. 6 months of intense preparation followed. Nathan led a team of linguists creating communication protocols. Olivia trained with diplomats and anthropologists, preparing herself for any cultural misunderstandings. World governments, united for the first time by a common goal, pooled resources to establish a unified response. They built a reception facility on neutral territory, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on a newly built platform. World leaders agreed on basic negotiating principles. Show strength, but not aggression. Curiosity, but not naivety. Respect, but not subservience. The day arrived with little warning. A simple message: "We have entered your solar system. Prepare to arrive in 6 hours." Nathan stood on the platform next to Olivia, watching the sky with officials from 30 countries. The air felt electric with anticipation. "Are we ready for this?" Nathan whispered. Olivia squared her shoulders. "No, but we'll do it anyway. This is what the Who brothers do." The clouds parted as something huge descended from above. Sunlight shone down on a structure larger than any aircraft carrier. A ship of impossible size and beauty. All elegant lines and shiny material that seemed to change color as you moved. As the craft hovered above the platform, Nathan felt his scientific mind race, trying to understand its propulsion system, its materials, its technology that defied Earth's physics. But another part of him, the human part, was simply amazed. Humanity's first contact with galactic civilization had begun, and nothing would be the same again. The alien ship hovered in the air above the ocean shelf, casting a shadow that stretched for miles. Everyone held their breath as a section of the ship's hull glowed and opened. A beam of blue light struck the surface of the platform. 5 figures materialized in the light. Each alien looked completely different from the others. One looked like a giant insect with multiple limbs and compound eyes. Another seemed to be made of living crystal that caught the sunlight and broke it into rainbows. The third floated above the ground, its body a swirling mist contained in what appeared to be a transparent suit. The fourth had scales and a long tail walking upright like a lizard. The last was the strangest of all, a humanoid form that glowed and flickered like a flame. Admiral George Bennett watched from the edge of the platform, his hand never far from the hidden weapon. As head of the United Earth Defense Force, he trusted no one, especially aliens who appeared out of nowhere with technology far beyond human understanding. Nathan stepped forward with Olivia at his side. He carried a tablet with translation software his team developed based on the alien signals. "Welcome to Earth," he said, his voice surprisingly firm. "We are honored by your presence." The translation played a series of tones and musical clicks over the speakers. The reptilian alien stepped forward and spoke. The tablet processed his words. "I am Slith of the Draconites." The translation read, "Chief Ambassador of the Galactic Council. These are representatives of the Exari, Lamidians, Vaporians, and Pulsars. We came to evaluate your species." The meeting moved to a conference room inside the platform. World leaders and scientists sat across from the 5 aliens. Cameradrones hovered in the corners, broadcasting to billions of humans who watched in fear and fascination. "Its technology is primitive," said the insect-like Exari, its jaws clicking. "Your city is inefficient. Your travel methods are legally slow." Nathan frowned. This was not the first friendly contact many had hoped for. Olivia spoke. "We have made great progress in a short time. Humans went from horse-drawn carriages to space exploration in just a few centuries. The crystalline being, the Lamidiano, changed, creating a musical sound. It is true that its development curve is remarkable." Slith's forked tongue appeared. "However, they spend resources on weapons and war instead of advancements." Admiral Bennett could no longer keep quiet. "We develop weapons because the universe is dangerous. Its arrival proves that we were right to be cautious." The misty Vaporians spun faster. "The human speaks the truth. Caution is wise." In the following days, the meetings continued. Aliens have revealed that they have visited Earth many times throughout history. The Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, the Nazca lines, were all tourist attractions from previous contacts or observation posts. "We have observed your species for thousands of years," Slith explained. "From cave paintings to nuclear weapons, its potential is great. Your restriction is not." On the 7th day, Slith showed them images of other worlds and species. Some looked like a couple there, with shining cities and strange plants. Others looked sterile and damaged. "Those who joined the council flourished," said Slith, pointing to the beautiful worlds. "Those who rejected our guidance suffered." That night, Nathan couldn't sleep. He walked around the room on the platform, reviewing translations and communications. Something seemed wrong, but the council representatives didn't always seem to agree with each other, and sometimes their private conversations, which Nathan's equipment vaguely picked up, sounded different from their public statements. "They're hiding something," he told Olivia when she knocked on his door, looking equally distraught. "Their unity is a front." "I know," she replied. "The Lamidian representative approached me privately. He almost seemed to be apologizing for something." Admiral Bennett joined them, his face grim. "My team detected energy readings from the ship. They scanned our entire planet while pretending to be in orbit. They are mapping our resources." Nathan felt a shiver run through his body. "I don't think they came here to welcome us to the galactic community." "No," Olivia agreed. "I think they came here to take something." A week after their arrival, the Galactic Council called a special meeting with Earth's leaders. The atmosphere was tense as everyone gathered in the ocean platform's main conference room. Slith was in the center, his scaled skin reflecting the light as he moved. "The Council has completed its assessment of Earth," Slith announced, his voice translated over the speakers. "We have reached a decision about humanity's place in galactic society." Nathan noticed how the Lamidian representative seemed to slow down slightly, as the vapor and mist swirled more slowly than normal. Only the insect-like Zari seemed excited, rubbing its front paws quickly. Admiral Bennett leaned over to Olivia and whispered, "This is how I come." Slith activated a holographic display showing Earth surrounded by alien ships. "The Galactic Council offers protection and guidance to humanity. In return, Earth will submit to the Council's authority with immediate effect." The room erupted in shocked murmurs. The President of the United Nations stood up. "What exactly does it mean to send, Ambassador Slith?" Slith's tongue came out. "This means that the following terms must be accepted. First, all military forces on Earth will be disbanded. Second, Humans will restrict their activities to Earth and its moon until they are considered ready for further space travel. Third, Earth will provide the Council with regular tributes of resources, including metals, water, and biological materials. This is not an invitation to join your board, Olivia said, standing up. This is a demand for surrender. Call it what you want, Commander Wright. Slith responded. These terms are standard for species at their level of development. The Council oversaw the successful integration of 17 civilizations in this way. And what happens if we refuse? Asked Admiral Bennett. The Zari representative clicked his jaws. Then pacification becomes necessary. The holographic display changed to show alien weapons firing at Earth cities. The message was clear. You have 30 Earth days to complete. Slith concluded, we will get back to you for your response. After the aliens departed back to their ship, Earth's leaders argued for hours. Some wanted to surrender to avoid destruction. Others demanded resistance at any cost. Nathan barely spoke during the debates. Instead, he went to his laboratory, where he monitored all communications from the Council. He had discovered something interesting. The aliens used multiple frequency layers in their transmissions, with some sea-loved ones apparently hidden from others. See this, he told Olivia when she found him hunched over his computers that night. The Draconites and Zari are communicating on frequencies that the other Council members cannot access, and what they say does not correspond to their public statements. Olivia read the translated messages. They are discussing mining operations, claiming territories on Earth. This ultimatum is not standard procedure, Nathan said. Earth has something they really want. Something worth breaking your own protocols for. Admiral Bennett joined them, bringing news from his own sources. My team analyzed your scans of Earth. They have focused heavily on our Earth's deposits of rare elements, especially in deep ocean trenches in the Arctic. Elements we need for our own advanced technology, Olivia noted. Exactly, said Nathan. And see this message. They are concerned about the scarcity of resources in their own territories. The three of them worked through the night, gathering evidence. In the morning, they had a clearer picture. The Council was not united. The Draconites and Zari were pushing for harsh treatment of Earth, while the other species seemed uncomfortable with the approach. We need to explore these divisions, Admiral Bennett said. It's our best chance. And we need to buy time, Nathan added. I've been working to hack into your communications systems. With a few more days, I might be able to access your databases. Olivia nodded with determination in her eyes. I will inform the UN leadership. We will not accept your ultimatum, but we will not reject it outright either. We will make a counterproposal and prolong the negotiations. As they prepared to present their findings, a message arrived from the Lamidian representative, sent on a frequency that only Nathan's equipment could detect. Not all board members agree with this ultimatum. Look for outcasts as allies. Nathan looked at Olivia and Bennett. We are not alone in the galaxy, and neither do they. The United Nations meeting hall was buzzing with tension. Leaders from all countries discussed the Council's ultimatum. Some wanted to fight. Others thought that surrender was the only option for survival. They have technology that we cannot match, said the French president. Fighting would mean extinction. But becoming their slave is not living, countered the Nigerian representative. We must find another way. Professor Diane Jackson took the podium. A respected expert in political theory, she has studied power dynamics throughout her career. The Council is not as united as they want us to believe, she explained. Dr. Lewis discovered communication gaps between different groups of aliens. We should explore these divisions. While the debate continued, Admiral Bennett secretly met with military leaders in a secure underground facility. They reviewed Earth's defense options. The news was not good. Our most advanced weapons would barely scratch their ships, said the Chinese general. So we need to be smarter, not just stronger, Bennett responded. He revealed blueprints for a secret project. A small fleet of experimental spacecraft built with technology reverse-engineered from ancient alien artifacts decades ago. The ships were not powerful, but they were fast and nearly invisible to standard detection methods. One pilot stood out among the volunteers to fly these experimental ships. Captain Ryan Miller had a reputation for doing the impossible. I'll take the challenging underscore beyond our solar system, he offered. If there are other aliens out there, those outcasts that Lamidian mentioned, I will find them. Meanwhile, Nathan worked day and night to penetrate deeper into the Council's networks. Olivia brought him food and put him to sleep when he almost passed out from exhaustion. You found something, she said, noticing his excited expression when she visited his lab on the 5th day. Nathan nodded. Look at these mineral surveys. The Council is desperate for elements we call rare earth metals, especially something they call element 137X. It is similar to our element neodymium, but with properties that we have not yet discovered. Why do they need it so much? It powers your engines faster than light ones. Without it, your civilization collapses. Olivia studied the data, and Earth has large deposits, the largest they have found in this sector of the galaxy. That's why they don't follow their own rules. This is why they are rushing this integration of Earth. With this knowledge, Earth's leaders formed a bold plan. They would neither fully accept nor reject the ultimatum. Instead, they would propose a counter-proposal. Earth would deal fairly with the Council as equals, not as subjects. 20 days after the ultimatum, humanity gave its answer. The Council representatives returned to the ocean platform. Slith looked confident as he entered the meeting room, clearly expecting submission. Olivia was Earth's chosen speaker. The people of the land considered her terms. She began. We understand the need for board resources, including the 137X element. Slith's reptilian eyes widened slightly. He didn't expect humans to discover this. Instead of surrender, Olivia continued, we propose a partnership, an equal trade. We will provide access to our resources in exchange for fair compensation, including technology, sharing, and full membership in galactic society. Imperceptible, Slith hissed. Your species is very young, very primitive. The Lamidiano representative changed, creating musical tones. Maybe we should consider their offer. Our traditional approach may not. Silence. Slith interrupted. The Council decided. Earth will submit or face consequences. No, Olivia said simply. Humans do not kneel in the face of threats. We have never done so throughout our history. We reach out in friendship, but we will not bow to intimidation. The Vaporian mist swirled quickly in what appeared to be approval, as the Exery snapped its jaws in anger. As the meeting dissolved into heated discussions among the Council members, a message reached Admiral Bennett. Captain Miller's underlined defiant, made contact with ships of unknown design at the edge of the solar system. The excluded had arrived. Council unity was fractured. Humanity found potential allies, and the game completely changed. The Council representatives stormed out of the meeting room following Earth's refusal to submit. Their ship glowed with angry red lights as it hovered in the sky. You have doomed your planet, Slith hissed before leaving. The board does not tolerate challenges. But once the aliens returned to their ship, Nathan detected an increase in communications between them. His translation program worked overtime to decode their heated arguments. They're arguing, he told Olivia and Admiral Bennett. The Draconites and Exery want immediate military action. The Lamidians and Vaporians are pushing for more negotiations. Pulsars seem stuck in the middle. How long does this last for us? Asked Admiral Bennett. Maybe a few days. Nathan replied. But there is something else. I picked up transmissions from another ship entering our solar system. It uses similar frequencies to municipal technology, but is somehow different. At the edge of the solar system, Captain Ryan Miller guided the defiant underling toward 3 sleek, backward ships of the municipal nave. The alien ship surrounded his ship, but made no aggressive moves. A voice came through his communication system, speaking perfect English. Greetings, human vessel. We are the alliance of the free worlds. Some call us outcasts. Miller's heart skipped a beat. How do you know our language? We've been monitoring the board's activities for centuries. We know they came to Earth with demands. We've seen this pattern before. The rejected ships escorted the underlined back to Earth at incredible speed. Miller discovered that they represented 3 species expelled from the Council for opposing their exploitation policies. The aquatic Proteans, the plant-like Altarians, and the crystalline Tau Sessions. The Council presents itself as a unifying force, explained the Protean commander, whose holographic image showed a beam resembling a blue dolphin with arms. In reality, the Draconites and Saris have taken over. They use other worlds as resource colonies. Back on Earth, Nathan received an urgent message from the Lamidian representative requesting a secret meeting. Olivia accompanied him to an abandoned warehouse near the coast, the crystal being pulsed with dim light. I risk a lot coming here. It is said through a personal translator, but you must know the truth. The ultimatum given to Earth violates our oldest laws of contact. Several council members are opposed, but the Draconites control our military forces. Why are they so desperate for our resources? Olivia asked. The Draconite Empire is constantly expanding. Their hunger for element 137X grows with each new territory. Without this, your domain ends. Lamidian light flickered. 3 civilizations before yours refused your demands. All were destroyed, but not before listening to the advice. Nathan guessed, remembering the excluded. Yes, the resistance of the Proteans, Alterians, and Tassians inspired others. Each time the council uses force, more members question its purpose. Lamidian approached. I must return before my absence is noticed. But know this, you are not alone in your position. As the Lamidian departed, Olivia received an alert from Global Defense Systems. Several small ships had separated from the main council ship and were taking position around Earth. Admiral Bennett has mobilized Earth's defenses. They are preparing for an attack, he told world leaders. We need more time. That moment came in the form of Captain Miller's return. The defiant underline appeared on the radar, accompanied by the 3 rogue ships. They positioned themselves protectively close to the Earth. The prescribed alliance opened communications with both Earth and the council ship. This world has chosen independence, Commander Protean announced. The Covenant recognizes Earth's right to self-determination. Slitha's furious response came immediately. Interfering in the Council's business violates space law. Retreat or face destruction. We will not withdraw, replied the Protean calmly. The days of board intimidation must end. Earth watched as more ships separated from the Council ship. But instead of attacking, the Lamidian and Vaporeon ships moved to positions between Earth and the Draconite forces. The Council was openly dividing. Nathan turned to Olivia, his face illuminated by the glow of the monitor screens that monitored the standoff above their world. We did it. We found the fault on your drive. No, Olivia replied, observing the ships in position. We just made it wider. What comes next will determine everything. The standoff lasted from 12 to 10 hours. In space, ships from different alien factions face each other with weapons at the ready. On Earth, humans watch their skies, wondering if this would be their last day. Slitha's ultimatum has expired. Dr. Aconite and the Zeri ships took up attack positions. All ground defense systems ready. Admiral Bennett reported from the Military Command Center. World leaders gathered around screens showing alien ships. But our weapons may not be enough against their technology. We have allies now. Olivia reminded him, observing the rejected ships and the Separatist Council ships positioning themselves to defend the Earth. Without warning, the first attack came. Draconite ships fired energy weapons at Earth's major cities. But seconds before the blast hit, shimmering light shields appeared, deflecting the energy skyward. Everyone looked on in shock. The shields were not from the alien allies. It worked, shouted a scientist from across the room. The defense system worked. Nathan turned to Olivia. What defense system? Admiral Bennett smiled for the first time in days. A little surprised that we are developing. After studying the Council ship when it arrived, our engineers reverse-engineered its shield technology. We installed generators in secret locations around the planet. The Dragonites attacked again, this time targeting Earth's defense systems. Some shields failed under repeated attacks. Buildings collapsed. People ran for safety as distant explosions lit up the horizon. New York's shield fell. Someone screamed. London's suffering extensive damage. The rejected ships fired at the Draconite ships, diverting their attention from Earth. Space above the planet erupted into a spectacular battle of energy beams, explosions, and ship maneuvers. We need to help our allies, said Admiral Bennett. He pressed a button on his console. All units, launch now. From hidden bases on the Moon and underwater installations on Earth, hundreds of small combat ships have emerged. Earth's secret fleet, built from reverse-engineered alien technology, has joined the battle. The human ships were less advanced, but much more numerous than expected. They attacked the larger Draconite ships, targeting weak points identified by Captain Miller during his encounter with the outcasts. Nathan worked frantically on his computer. I almost hacked their main communication network, he told Olivia. If I can transmit evidence of the Council's corruption and exploitation to all of your worlds. The battle intensified. The Lamidian and Vaporeon ships fought openly alongside the outcasts and humans now. Only the pulsars remained neutral, with their energy-based ships hovering in the distance. Despite surprise defenses and Earth's allies, the Draconites and Carrie were still powerful. 3 large cities completely lost their shields. Casualties mounted as emergency services struggled to evacuate civilians. "I need more time," Nathan said, his fingers flying across the keyboard. Just then, 2 engineers rushed to the command center. Sam Peterson and Carly Martinez were working on a special project in a laboratory beneath the ocean shelf. "We have completed the pulse disruptor," Sam announced, holding up a small device. "What does this do?" Olivia asked. "The Draconites use a neural network to coordinate their ships," Carly explained. "This device can stop it temporarily, but we need to get close enough to the command ship." Admiral Bennett nodded. "I will." "No," Olivia said firmly. "I'll take it. I'm a pilot, remember, and they'll be less likely to attack a diplomatic ship." Before anyone could argue, she grabbed the device and ran to get her ship. Nathan wanted to stop her, but he knew there was no time. Instead, he focused on his task, finally breaking through the Council's last network firewall. "I'm in TRO," he shouted, broadcasting now across thousands of worlds. Beings of all species receive Nathan's transmission, proof that the Dragonborn leadership has been lying for centuries, exploiting worlds and violating the Council's founding principles. In space, Olivia's small ship avoided energy blasts, flying directly towards the huge Dragon command ship. The pulse disruptor was armed and ready. "To Earth," she whispered, pressing the activation button as her ship passed close to the alien ship. A wave of blue energy spread out. All the Draconite ships suddenly stopped firing. They were left adrift, temporarily incapacitated. The tide of battle had changed. With the Draconite ships temporarily disabled, Earth's forces and their allies quickly gained the upper hand. The Exery ships, now without their strongest allies, began to retreat. Olivia's ship flew back to Earth, damaged but still functioning. She watched through her screen as the combined fleet of human, outcast, Lamidian, and Porian ships surrounded the drifting Draconite ships. "The pulse disruptor worked better than we expected," she reported when she landed. "Your systems will be offline for at least 6 hours." Admiral Bennett wasted no time. "Protect ships from Draconite. Rescue any injured person, regardless of species. Show them that humans fight with honor." Meanwhile, Nathan's transmission continued to spread across the galaxy. The evidence against Draconite leadership was overwhelming. Covert mining operations on developing worlds, falsified reports to the Council, and the suppression of species that resisted his rule. More municipal ships are arriving. Captain Miller reported from the Defiant Underline, who was patrolling the edge of the solar system. But they are not attacking. They are waiting. The newcomers were from other species of the Council who had received Nathan's transmission. Its leaders demanded explanations from Draconada's high command. Professor Diane Jackson saw an opportunity. "We need to speak directly to the other worlds on the Council," she told Earth leadership. "Not just to your representatives here, but to your national governments." She proposed a bold plan. Send diplomatic missions directly to key Council worlds, bypassing the traditional chain of command. Commander Wright would lead the most important mission to Vaporus, home of the gaseous Vaporians who seemed most sympathetic to Earth's doctor. "It's risky," Olivia admitted, "but the Draconites broke their own rules. Why shouldn't we?" As diplomatic missions prepared to depart in ships provided by their excluded allies, Earth continued to deal with the aftermath of the attack. Despite their shields, several cities suffered damage. Thousands were injured and hundreds died defending their planet. However, something unexpected happened when humans faced this crisis. Old enemies worked together. Countries that had been rivals for centuries shared resources and sent each other aid to damaged cities. The attack united humanity in a way no one thought possible. In space, the decommissioned Draconite fleet slowly came back online. But they found themselves surrounded by ships from all factions of the Council, most demanding answers about the evidence Nathan had passed on. Slith was brought to Earth under heavy guard for emergency negotiations. His arrogance disappeared, replaced by cold fury. "You think you won," he hissed at Nathan during the meeting. "You just delayed the inevitable. The Draconite Empire ruled the Council for 1,000 years. We will not be stopped by the primitives." "We don't want to stop you from existing," Nathan replied calmly. "We just want you to stop bullying everyone." The Lamidian representative's crystals shined brightly. "The evidence cannot be denied." Slide. The council was founded on principles of mutual benefit and respect. The Draconites betrayed these principles. As they discussed, more news arrived from across the galaxy. Other worlds that had been forced into submission were rising against the Dragonborn government. The rebellion that started on Earth was spreading. Olivia prepared to leave on a diplomatic mission. Nathan found her checking her ship for the last time. "Be careful out there," he said. "We still don't know much about these aliens." Olivia smiled. "That's what makes it exciting. Besides, I'm not going alone." She gestured to Professor Jackson and several other qualified diplomats who would accompany her. "You know what I noticed?" Nathan said. "The Council's ultimatum was the best thing that could have happened to humanity. Look at us now, united, reaching for the stars, making new allies." "That's the problem with humans," Olivia replied. "We grow stronger under pressure. We've always done this." As his ship prepared for departure, Admiral Bennett received word that the Iziri fleet was regrouping for another attack. But this time, they wouldn't face Earth alone. Ships from a dozen species now protected the planet, some from the Outcast Alliance, others from Council worlds disgusted by the Dragonborn's actions. The message was clear. The galaxy was changing, and humanity sparked change by doing what it did best, refusing to kneel. 6 months after the battle for Earth, representatives of 23 space civilizations gathered at the newly built Galactic Embassy in Geneva. The massive dome-shaped building featured architecture inspired by all member species, with windows that changed color depending on the position of the sun. Nathan stood by a window, watching the ships land in the distance. Some transported dignitaries from across the galaxy, while others brought supplies and technology as part of new trade agreements. "It's hard to believe it all started with a signal in the middle of the night," Olivia said as she joined him. His diplomatic missions were extremely successful. She now wore the formal uniform of Earth's first galactic ambassador. "Even harder to believe the Dragonborns thought that we would simply surrender," Nathan replied. The old Galactic Council no longer existed. After evidence of corruption became public, most member species withdrew support. The Draconites and Carrie retreated to their own territories, still powerful but no longer dominant. In place of the Council, a new organization was formed, the Galactic Federation. Unlike its predecessor, the Federation was built on principles of equality, with each member having an equal vote regardless of their technological advancement. Admiral Bennett entered the room, accompanied by Captain Miller. Both men looked tired but satisfied. "The defense network is fully operational," Bennett reported. 47 planets now share the shield technology we adapted from the Draconites. "And the trade routes are safe," Miller added. The Defiant Underline, has just returned from escorting ships to the Tau Cetian homeworld. Human technology advanced rapidly through cooperation with its new allies. Earth ships now regularly travel to distant stars. The first human colonies on other worlds were already being planned. Nathan led a team that developed a truly universal translation system, allowing all species to communicate clearly for the first time. This simple tool avoided countless misunderstandings that could have led to conflicts. Engineers Sam Peterson and Carly Mart Inez became celebrities after their pulse disruptor technology was refined for peaceful applications. Its energy wave system now powers cities across the Earth and other worlds, ending dependence on fossil fuels. The Great Hall filled up as the Federation meeting prepared to begin. Veins of all shapes, sizes, and compositions took their places, some sitting, others floating, some appearing only as patterns of light. Professor Jackson leaned toward Nathan. "The Draconites asked to join the Federation," she whispered. "His new government claims to have reformed. Will they be accepted?" Nathan asked. "Eventually, maybe, but they will need to prove themselves first. The Federation remembers what happened." The meeting began with a speech by the Prussian representative, whose aquatic species had already been banned by the Council. "Today we celebrate 6 months of peace and cooperation. What the old Council could not achieve through force, we built through mutual respect." The Vaporian delegates agreed, and we must recognize that this new path began with Earth. When given an ultimatum, humans chose neither surrender nor blind aggression. They found a third option: building alliances and exposing the truth. Olivia stood up to speak next. As the voice of Earth in the Federation, his words carried the weight of humanity's new role in the galaxy. "My kind has a saying: the truth will set you free. When the Council demanded our submission, They expected surrender or destruction. They never considered that we could completely change the rules of the game. She looked around the room at the various beings who now considered Earth an equal partner. Humans have never responded well to threats. Throughout our history, those who tried to conquer us learned a painful lesson. We do not kneel, but stand, shoulder to shoulder with friends and allies. The hall erupted into varying sounds of approval from multiple species. Outside the embassy, ordinary humans lived their lives in a world forever changed. Children learned about alien cultures at school. Workers collaborated with beings from distant stars. Scientists have explored technologies that were previously considered impossible. The stars were no longer distant points of light. They were destinations, friends' homes. All because when the Galactic Council presented its ultimatum, humanity refused to kneel. And standing firm helped reshape the galaxy itself.